Hello everybody, this is the MCrewDude. It seems that there are going to be a ton of anniversary milestones this year, and among that list is the 65th anniversary of Charlotte's Web. As many of you know, Charlotte's Web was a novel written by E.B. White and first published October 15th, 1952. The story is simply about a pig named Wilbur who believes that he is in danger of being slaughtered by the farmer. He then befriends a spider named Charlotte, who then writes praising messages in her webs, and this somehow makes Wilbur a town hero so that the farmer will keep him around. Hey Gary, would you mind spinning a web for me with the word subscribe written across it?
Hell no, do you have any idea how much refills cost?
Oh well, I tried. The book became a huge success and was cherished by kids and adults alike, and even became the best-selling children's paperback of all time. In 1973, Hanna-Barbera Productions made an animated film adaptation that is equally beloved and remembered, but like all things that are timeless, some studio thinks they have to breathe new life into it as if it's going to die. In 2003, a direct-to-video sequel called Charlotte's Web 2: Wilbur's Great Adventure was released by Paramount. I don't even understand why this needed to exist. I mean, was there really a demand to see what happened afterwards? After I saw the trailer again, it became very clear. They simply wanted to re-establish the story to younger audiences. How pathetic. It's even more pointless since the live-action remake came out 3 years later, and even that was better. Needless to say, nobody cared about the sequel anymore after that. So that is why I'm gonna make fun of it. This is Charlotte's Web 2: Wilbur's Great Adventure. The story begins on Zuckerman's farm with Wilbur taking care of Charlotte's 3 daughters. Just look at how strange these redesigns look. The spiders look more like the Powerpuff Girls, and Wilbur doesn't look anything like he did 30 years ago.
This isn't such a good idea! In fact, it's a terrible idea! No more crazy stunts! Oh, please, you're gonna hurt yourself!
Oh, you're just a big old worrywart, Wilbur. I've never even bent an antenna before.
But spiders don't have antennas!
Right you are, Wilbur. But what are those then? So our spider triplets are Nellie, the adventurous one, Arania, the clumsy one, and Joy, the pessimistic one. Ugh, all of a sudden I'm having flashbacks from Murdered Soul Suspect. We are then reintroduced to Templeton the Rat, voiced by Charlie Adler, doing a really bad impression of Paul Lynde. You might remember Adler from his voice work on TV shows like Cow and Chicken and Brandy and Mr. Whiskers, but here, I feel like he's a little out of place. There's nothing wrong with his voice acting, I just don't think it was very good casting. So we are then interrupted by this annoying chicken who says that Gwen the Goose's eggs have now hatched. This doesn't come into play ever again, so it's completely pointless. After that, a sinister fox named Farley, voiced by Rob Paulsen, sneaks onto the farm to simply cause trouble. Okay, so I guess we're just going to ignore that then. So the chicken informs them of, what, another plot point? Already this film treats you like a child, thinking you'd get bored without a scene change every minute. So a group of lambs are born, but one of them is black, and therefore shunned from the farm for being different.
Hey, John! Did you see that?
Stay away from him.
Look at him! He's a disgrace to the farm! I don't get it, Gwen. Why is everybody laughing at him?
They are rude, that's why.
I believe the word you're looking for is racist. So Wilbur befriends the lamb, whose name is Cardigan, and decides to show him how to be a pig by singing.
It's not so hard to be a pig. You just start in by eating big. You snort your meal and squeal and roll in mud and slurp and burp. Eat rotten apples for dessert. Sleep in hay and play in dirt. Sit around and watch cows chewing their cud.
You know how in the original there was a similar song about accepting others despite their differences and understanding what they have in common? With this song, the central message is, we can be friends if you're just like me. It might sound like I'm overanalyzing it, but that's really how it comes across. Rather than accepting his differences, they're essentially teaching him to not be an individual. I'm sorry, but that is such a big problem, I don't know how they got away with it. Later on, Fern visits Wilbur and gives him some random garbage to eat. Ugh, what did they do to her design? She looks worst of all.
Ponderosa tomato seeds. Grown tomatoes, huh?
Yeah, big ones. I want to win the prize for the biggest tomato at the fair. I've got a top secret, never been used before, growing strategy.
Naturally.
Wilbur's manure pile.
Ew. So Fern is able to grow a tomato 5 times the normal size thanks to Wilbur's nutrient-rich power feces, because they are returning to the fair, since, you know, it was in the first movie.
Joy, tell me, what's wrong with my webs?
Besides the fact that they aren't sticky and they're full of gaps.
Why do I even bother? I'll never catch anything.
Miracles do happen.
Yeah, thanks for the encouragement. When they arrive at the fair, Wilbur and Cardigan seem to have trouble adjusting to the changes in absence of Charlotte.
Look at that beautiful wool. Oh, I'd love a sweater made of that.
I don't know if I should find that creepy or not. Aw, look at the bunny. It's so cute. I'd like to wear its skin around my neck. So Wilbur then has a trippy song sequence about not wanting to become dinner, and then Zuckerman sells Cardigan to another farmer, who looks an awful lot like Kenny from Telltale's The Walking Dead, which puts Wilbur under a lot of stress.
Nellie, forget about weaving a word for me. Can you do it for Cardigan? Then he'll be the Wonder Lamb, and Farmer Zuckerman won't sell him.
Forget it, Wilbur. You're a day late and a corn cob short.
Back at the farm, Wilbur tries to figure out a plan to get Cardigan back.
Why don't you just go see him, Wilbur?
Me? You mean me? Oh, but I've never been off the farm before by myself, and I don't even know how to get to the Hirsch farm. And...
You're a big fat chicken.
I heard that. The chicken is a noble species, the bird of kings.
Yeah, chicken a la king.
My plan is to find a plan.
I hope you got a plan B. So Wilbur comes to the conclusion that he has to travel to Cardigan's new home to see if he's safe. So he ultimately leaves the farm with the triplets in Templeton, but I don't really follow. He's just trying to find his friend and that's it. Wilbur clearly hasn't thought his plan through, nor does he have any sense of direction. Along the way, he gets covered in bramble, leaves, and tree bark to a point where he's mistaken for a dangerous wild pig. Eventually, Wilbur makes it to the Hirsch farm and reunites with Cardigan, while none of the other animals seem fazed about the fact that there's a strange pig around.
Cardigan?
Uh-oh. Careful, boys. It's that wild pig we heard about.
Damn, news travels really fast around here. First some unrelated farmers see Wilbur, and then all of a sudden the whole county knows. Same issue as before, everybody knows Cardigan exists even when he was introduced 2 minutes in a song sequence ago. As they play around, they come across a cow named Bessie who has trouble producing fresh milk? What?
I don't want the quality of my milk to be affected because you got a big mouth. Got it?
And nothing's going to affect the quality of your milk, Bessie. It's always sour, like your personality.
You're not gonna be #1 cow forever, Flo. I'm working on the sweetest milk this farm has ever tasted. Just chew your cud on that.
And then you will be #1, with fries and a drink. Meanwhile, Farley comes back and attacks the Hirsch's hen house. This time, Wilbur actually attempts to stop him, but why didn't he do anything when Farley attacked his farm? Farley manages to get away, leaving Wilbur to get busted by the farmer and chased off. Rather than trying to find the nearest lake to wash off everything stuck to him, he decides to hide out and wait around for some reason. Again, his plans aren't very clear.
But it was Farley who took the hen, not me.
You know that, and I know that. But who tells Farmer Hirsch that?
Wait a minute. I know. Nellie, you could do it. You and your sisters.
Of course we could! No problem! How?
Write a message in your web, like Charlotte used to.
I love it! Do you want handwriting? Underlined? Italicized?
I prefer double-spaced, size 12 in Times New Roman. This leads up to probably the most well-known song in the film.
Come on, girls, nothing to it. After all, each one of us is Charlotte's kid. Maybe this will be my chance to finally get it right. I'm gonna try with all my might. Are you nuts? You know you've never even caught a fly. But I can still try.
Too bad it doesn't amount to anything.
Okay, Bessie girl. Let's see what you have for me today.
I'm pretty sure you have to pasteurize milk before you can drink it.
Oh, Bessie.
Another batch of sour cream?
Yeah, well, that's not too bad. It can be a taco night. So we have to listen to this yappy little dog for a whole minute or so, and I'm serious, it just sounds like complete ear rape. Ugh. Well, Wilbur gets spotted and chased off the farm once again. But unfortunately, Farley returns and kidnaps Cardigan.
Be careful.
Mutton. The other white meat.
He takes him to this basement below a demolished house where he doesn't eat him right away, giving his prey just the right amount of time to plot against him.
Let me show you my... how shall I put this? Hospitality.
1, 2, go! Pig power!
The farmer then gets a mob together to hunt Wilbur, believing that he is the cause of all the trouble. Wilbur works together with Templeton, Bessie, and the Triplets to catch Farley in a makeshift web that they built off screen, I guess. Seriously, why are all the significant moments never shown?
Charlotte's cousin caught a fish in her web, so I thought, hey, why not catch a fox in our web?
Wait a minute, that was only mentioned in the novel, so if you had only seen the movie, this would not make sense. Just as it seems we're about to get a well-deserved ending, the spiders manage to spin a proper web just as the farmers manage to close in on Wilbur. Farmer Zuckerman sees this and the whole story falls into place. Hooray! They all celebrate happily, and guess what awful joke they end on?
I'm so hungry I could eat a horse.
Hey, I heard that.
And that's the first time we ever saw that horse. Well, that was Charlotte's Web 2, and as a proud parent of a spider, I can say that this film was completely pointless. Wouldn't you say so, Gary?
Yeah, sure.
I'm sure kids will like it, but it doesn't have any real charm or memorability. As I said, some of the morals are a little conflicted, the writing is not very strong, and there's really nothing to take away from it. I can't remember much about it, nor do I feel like any of the characters really developed that much. So, not the worst kids film, but definitely not worth the time. This is the MCrewDude signing off, wishing you all a very pleasant day.
Lead the way, and let's get it started. Seize the day, and reach for the sky. Carry on, 'cause those broken-hearted days are gone. So wave goodbye. We're gonna blow up because we got nothing to lose. We're gonna rise up above when we break all the rules. We're gonna rewrite the book 'cause it's long overdue.
By the way, even Charlotte's design was butchered.